Welcome to Audacity Works, a podcast inspired by and dedicated to the working artist, the creative entrepreneur, and generally, doing the damn thing. This exists on the premise that the world belongs to those who have the audacity to believe that their lives have value. This is for you. Welcome to Audacity Works. I am your host, Rachel Strickland, and this is episode number 153, and it's called Why Am I Wet? And Other Musings. A conversation with Kristina, Nekyia, Cañizares, and me. Content warnings for a brief mention of sexual assault, as well as lots of F-bombs, but if you're already here, then you should be expecting that. But before I introduce our guests, you might hear Burn meowing. She thinks it's 5:30, but it's only 3:56. Anyway, after last week's episode on paid platforms, are they worth it or not, I got a follow-up from a wise friend of mine, my friend Shannon, who says she wanted to offer, never sign up for another pay-to-play until you've made your money back on the first one. I love this advice. This is very, very fucking good advice. She goes on to say this is something that she sees with actors being on 8 different websites and doing a mid job on each one rather than maximizing a single profile and using all of the paid features. It's best to put all your energy into what you've paid for, make your money back, preferably more, and then decide if you're going to sign up for another membership somewhere else. Love this. Could not wait to tell you. Had to share it right off the bat. Thank you, Shenanigans. So have an excellently tasty treat for you today. Last week, I interviewed my good friend, Kristina Cañizares, and I'm going to read you her bio because it's I don't want to leave anything out. I don't want to leave anything out. Okay, begin. Based in Los Angeles, Kristina Nekyia Cañizares began teaching after a career as a dancer, burlesque queen, and circus contortionist. She founded her company Fit and Bendy in 2012 in LA, where she works with many of the industry's top performers, including musicians, actors, dancers, aerialists, pole competitors, and stunt artists. Kristina's passion for healthy range of motion is born of her own healing journey. More on this in a moment. Contortion training was part of her recovery, which she began at the age of 30 with renowned Mongolian contortionist Serchma Biamba. That was at Circus Center in San Francisco, PS. In 2009, she co-founded the contortion program at Cirque School LA, and in 2010, she won the Princess of Burlesque Award at the Burlesque Hall of Fame in Vegas. She's been on the board of directors of BurlyCon, and now she tours the world as a celebrity trainer for musicians and actors. She's writing a book on demystifying flexibility training and runs a body care clinic for strippers and sex workers in LA. She loves her derpy dogs, of which there are now 3. That was my own personal little addendum. I'm going to go right on into the interview now. Enjoy. Hey, Mama, how you doing?
Oh, living the dream every day. This is the dream, right? That's what this is?
Are we sleeping? Okay, I know we're going to go right off the bat with this. Speaking of living the dream, I experienced sleep paralysis for the first time last night.
Oh, that is horrific. What happened? Tell me everything.
I honestly thought everyone was exaggerating. I now know, no, you weren't. No one was exaggerating. It's a fucking nightmare. I felt something lean over me. I felt the mattress sink under the weight of the thing. Mm-hmm. What the fuck was that? You know, esoteric weird shit. What was that?
I don't know, but I have definitely experienced it a bunch of times, and it's up there as like least favorite psychic phenomenon for everyone I know who's experienced it. Horrid. Like I felt something breathing in my face. Why?
Why? And it's stuck to,
usually why is that necessary?
I just shake it off, when I have a nightmare. But this didn't shake. It's kind of stuck with me through the day. although I'm feeling pretty good
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. No, I have had that happen a few times. I have a bunch of friends who've had that happen, and I have found that certain things make it more likely to happen. Like for me, at least, if I take melatonin, the chances of having a horrendous nightmare or sleep paralysis go way up.
Really?
I don't know what that is, but I've heard that from other people too. Yeah.
Interesting.
Other kinds of sleep aids. Yeah.
Well, that's not what I planned to talk about, but you were right here, and I'm looking at you, so I'm like, well, I'm going to tell her. Because I would have wanted to tell you anyway.
Thanks for telling me. I, be gone. Be gone, whatever that is.
Thank you. Now, here's a question.
Yeah, sure, it helped.
We've known each other a long time. I think we met in 2007. Do you remember meeting for the first time?
I believe that it was in Xenodrome, and you had reached out to me on MySpace, because 20 years ago, and on the Nekyia, my dance company's MySpace page. God, I wish I could find that again. And you were like, I want to be in your dance company. And I was like, well, I don't have any auditions coming up, but just come to rehearsal. Let's see how it goes. And Xenodrome at that time was in the Mission, and it was a sort of warehouse art space that was part living space, part rehearsal space, part venue, part adventure castle. And that's where we were having our rehearsals at the time. And you came in, and I was like, well, I don't really have time to like teach you everything, but just hop in the back and do what you can. And you sure did. And you picked it up really quickly, and very quickly became a treasured member of the dance company.
You must have been so nervous. Like, what have I done? Who's this chick showing up all
I
eager?
was not nervous at all. Not even a tiny bit nervous. No. There, like sometimes you can just feel it. You can just tell. And I was like, oh. And then, of course, like you're also at Circus Center, and you were go-go dancing. What was the name of that club?
Temple.
At Temple. And so our lives had so much overlap that I was like, yeah, I mean, I just felt, and then I saw your email address and I was like, oh yeah, we're going to get along great.
The fact that you knew, like, my email address has been the same for about 25 years, and it's Roisin Dove, which is Gaelic for black rose, or Irish, as the Irish would say. So I should say what the Irish say. And no one knows that, like, outside of a very small sphere. So that was impressive.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, all right. Irish, witchy. We're going to get along. We did.
I was trying to think about how to possibly pare down things that I want to ask you. And I think the answer is I'm not going to, and we'll just maybe do this again some other time so I can keep asking you questions. But you've had like 8 careers.
At least. No, it's got to be more than that. I could not count if you asked me to, but yeah, probably more than that.
So can you remind me, what was your degree in?
Development economics with an emphasis on sustainable agricultural technologies.
Oh, wow.
Not worth the paper that thing's printed on. Yeah.
But you did
barely got
use it.
School. I did. I actually used it before I graduated. By the time I graduated, I knew I was done with that completely. I only graduated because I was trying to make my parents leave me the fuck alone. And I was like, okay, if I just get this stupid piece of paper that means nothing, maybe you'll just stop hounding me and let me go be a weird artist. It didn't work, but I did get the stupid piece of paper. I don't think I went to my own graduation ceremony. I can't remember if I did or not. And I don't know where my degree is, and I don't care at all about it. No.
It's irrelevant.
And I honestly resent all the time I wasted in college.
And then,
not popular for the parents to hear, but whatever.
Whatever. I was going to say they're not listening, but that's not true. My mom and Uncle Brad both listen to this sometimes.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Uncle Brad.
Can you, because you did get a job in that field that you didn't end up loving. What was that?
No.
Can you remind me?
Well, while I was still in school, I was really, so the whole reason I got into this, I started in as a creative writing person. And then when I was 19, I took a solo trip to Brazil. It was like an insane adventure. And I ended up out in the countryside in areas with intense poverty and like intense levels of famine. And I hadn't seen that with my own eyeballs before. And especially at the time, Brazil was one of the countries with the highest level of economic inequality in the world. We're right there here now.
Mm-hmm.
But,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so amazing that many of the things that were just like a huge slap to my face about Brazil then are right outside my window now here. But I was really fascinated isn't quite the right word, horrified and perplexed by how you can have people starving and like high levels of malnutrition in a country with so much wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wanted to look at that, and I felt like the lens of food was one of the best ways to approach the idea of economic justice, because it's something that everybody needs, and it's something we have enough of, and yet people don't have it. Mm-hmm. So that's what caused me to want that degree. And I found someone that I wanted as a mentor who was doing amazing work and had written a bunch of books, and he was doing work in Cuba, which my dad's Cuban. So I was like, wow, I really want to do this. And he was a total sexist pig and was not in the least bit interested in working with me, but I hounded him mercilessly until he said yes. And he ended up getting me, it started as an internship and turned into a job, position at this nonprofit called the Institute for Food and Development Policy, Food First. And I'm perfectly happy to call them out by name because at the time, fuck them hard. And I was so excited about it. I was so excited because I was like, wow, they're doing work in food policy, and they're doing work in Cuba and in Oakland, which is where I was living at the time. And like, I was so idealistic, you know, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Yeah. And long story as short as possible, it was really corrupt organization. And I slowly began to realize, to my horrible chagrin and embarrassment, that I was basically just a pawn to spend grant dollars without really doing any good. And I watched how the programs that we were building were not actually serving the people that we said that we were serving. And then even worse, I watched a lot of the men in the program, and it was primarily men running things, sexually harass and attempt rape on some of the women involved, including some women, Cuban women, and an 18-year-old college student who had come to learn in Cuba with us. I watched the executive director attempt to rape her. He did not know that I was following him. And of course, intervened, but it was, then I had to take that to the board of directors, and they didn't believe me, and I had to try to get backup from other women. And then it came out that one of the other women working there had been sexually harassed and had her green card held over her head for years. So yeah, that was the end of that. I did not want to do that anymore. It was really, really, really disillusioning. And that was before I'd even graduated from college.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was like 22 maybe when all that was happening. It took me forever to graduate from college. I kept dropping out.
Well, yeah. After that, there would have been zero motivation
It's funny because like my first real job was at a strip club. Mm-hmm. And I did that on and off for a long time. And people would always be like, oh, wasn't it just so hard? Like the sexism and like the way that you were treated at the strip club. And I'm like, not compared to agronomy. Agronomy was way, way worse. International development agronomy was the most like sexist, demeaning treatment I ever received. Yeah.
I've never been in agronomy, but I have been a server at O'Charlie's, and that was way worse than stripping. Loved the club.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Cocktail wager saying also way worse than stripping. Horrible. My God. Combat sport.
It's a combat sport.
Yeah.
Hey, did you have a stripper name?
Yeah. Carmina Burana, like the opera.
Perfect. Yes.
So nerdy. I usually just introduced myself as Carmina, but every once in a while I'd whip out the full Carmina Burana and see if anyone reacted. They generally didn't.
No, they were already.
But that was my favorite opera.
Mine was Paris. I think I told you that a long time ago, and you laughed so hard. It was after Paris of Troy.
Of course it was. Beautiful Paris. I love that. It could have been after Paris is Burning. Have you seen that documentary?
No.
Oh, I just rewatched it recently. It's one of the best documentaries ever. It's about the ballroom scene in New York in the 80s. Highly recommend. Everybody go out and watch Paris is Burning.
I'll put a link to it in the show notes. Good
Sweet.
Looking out. So then there was a bunch of stuff that happened that I know bits and pieces of that story, but I do know that at some point you were very ill and dance saved your life.
Yes. So the illness actually started in Cuba. I was back and forth to Cuba a lot in the 90s, working there, and I was like reasonably fluent in Spanish at the time and doing translation for different people who were going there. And at one point I was there and I was just studying Spanish and being in Havana. And I was staying at a youth hostel, and I got pregnant, as people occasionally do. Mm-hmm. And it turned out that it was an ectopic pregnancy, which meant that the fetus was growing in the fallopian tube, and I had no idea. And at one point, my fallopian tube ruptured, which is potentially fatal and horrendously painful. And again, long story shorter, I almost died. I had to have an emergency surgery. This is Cuba in the special period, which if anyone knows about Cuba, it was a time of maybe not quite as bad today, but a time of like extreme financial hardship in Cuba. And there was a real shortage of any kind of medical equipment or medicines. Fortunately, excellent doctors, but I did have to have surgery, and then I was stuck in Cuba afterwards with no money and no place to stay. And it was a pretty major surgery. I had to have my fallopian tube and part of my uterus removed. I lost a ton of blood. And after that, my body just did not recover. I made it back to the U.S. I at the time weighed probably like 40, 45 pounds less than I do now. I was just like completely shot. And then there was all of the sort of emotional trauma of it, which was massive, just absolutely massive. And I didn't really have a safe place to land back in the U.S. and just massive anxiety trying to get my life back together after that. And rather than getting better, I just got worse and worse. And went to a lot of doctors. I was having terrible pain. I was exhausted. I was having massive panic attacks. And I was later diagnosed with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia and various anxiety disorders. But I think really a lot of it was just a huge accumulation of trauma that overwhelmed my nervous system and my body and made it impossible for me to function. But it lasted for quite a few years. There was about a year where I could barely get out of bed. I was in so much pain and just so debilitated by it. All sorts of weird symptoms. And really the way that I finally started to heal after quite a few years was to stop going to doctors. And now, look, I'm not giving medical advice to people who are having problems and saying, just stop going to the doctor. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is what I did for myself. That I decided to just start doing the thing that I loved, which was dancing. And I started belly dancing. I found a class near me that with this amazing instructor, and I did some samba as well, which is something that I'd always loved since going to Brazil. And I would go to class and I could do like a couple minutes of the warm up, and then I'd have to lay down in the back. But fortunately, the instructors were great, and they let me do that. And gradually, I could do a couple more minutes and a couple more. And having that to look forward to, I think, helped me want to be alive again and helped me be able to have a relationship with my body again, which I was so dissociated. Through that, I was able to start making better decisions for myself and taking care of myself. And that was the point at which I was like, you know what? I don't really care. I'm already on a bonus life. You know, I almost died. I'm on a bonus life. Everything out from here on out is gravy. I don't care if I'm poor. I don't care if I piss off everybody in my family who want me to get a real job. I am dancing. That's what I did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You're an amazing dancer. We're going to see you at that restaurant. What's that restaurant you performed at when I came to
Amira
in LA?
Yeah.
In
LA? That was San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. You were living in LA by then.
Oh. Where did you come to see me in LA?
I came for like 2 weeks. And we stayed in your apartment.
Moon of Tunis in Hollywood.
That's the one.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I do miss dancing. I really, really miss it. I'm starting to try to get back into it. But yeah.
Go ahead.
I got arthritis in my foot it actually started probably like 10 years ago. And at the time I didn't have health insurance and I wasn't really sure what to do about it. And I didn't treat it very well. I just kept dancing on it because what else are you going to do? And by about 5 years ago, it was like, I was having a hard time walking around. It was creating like hip and back problems. And so I haven't really danced for about 5 years. I did have surgery on it almost 3 years ago, and I've been rehabbing since then. And it's so much better. And I did go take a couple dance classes earlier this year. So I think when I'm done with tour, that's one of my projects.
Tour has been a behemoth. It's a leviathan. These tours.
It's a beast. Yeah, it is.
Can you tell us about
it's great.
Your job on tour?
I support musicians on the road. And I have a little group that I've been touring with on and off since the end of 2021. So 4 years, with breaks, I get breaks and stuff. About to have a long indefinite break coming up. But it's been amazing. It's been really amazing because, I toured before, but not at this level and not to all these different places. And I love the people so much. And I get to take everything that I've learned about taking care of bodies through the performer life and share it and support people I really care about. So that's great.
And do you have like an official title?
No. Well, I say personal trainer, so that's my official title. But I would say that is I am more often referred to as the body wizard.
That's better. That's more like it.
Which I like much better. Or just, I mean, the sign on my door just says Kristina. That's just, yeah.
That's your official title.
I'm just Kristina. Official title is, I don't have a title. Yeah. Which I'm just fine with.
That does suit you. It does.
Mm-hmm.
You have so much knowledge stuffed into your brain from so many different modalities. And I couldn't even begin to keep track of them. I remember you getting a Pilates certification, and you started training contortion at the age of, was it 31?
30, yeah.
30.
Late.
But right on time.
Yeah. Didn't come up sooner, so
Exactly. It showed up when it showed up.
Yeah.
And I've said this to my patrons, but I'll repeat the story here because it's awesome. Me and Kristina had a call to talk about an upcoming retreat that we'll talk about a little bit more later. And she's like, remind me, how's your SI joint doing? Because she knows I've been in a lot of pain and been quite debilitating, and I've been in PT for ages. And she said, well, let's try this thing. And she had me lay against a wall in a particular way that I won't even try to describe, and do an isometric hold of several muscles at the same time. And when I stood up, I couldn't shut my jaw. I was literally agape with joy like a bird, because I could bend over at the waist without pain for the first time in months. And like, how did you
I had to take a
know
screenshot.
that? You did. Like, what even is this? And you're like, oh, it's just one of the many esoteric modalities I've stuffed into my brain.
The esoteric lore.
I wish I could find a way. Maybe I will find a way to publish that photo online so I can link to it, because it's very genuine. Just
it makes me really happy. You look genuinely, like, absolutely delighted.
It's true, and it has continued to be like the only thing that's made a significant difference. So thanks again.
Sure, yeah, I should show you some more, because I got more.
I know. So
but wait, there's more. Yeah, I mean, that thing that I showed you comes from some studying I've done in postural restoration, the Postural Restoration Institute, which is like a new modality of physical therapy that's really rocked my world. It's just wow. It's so wow to me. It's true wizardry. I have taken a couple workshops, and I've been learning from someone here in LA, but again, one of my post-tour hopes is to go and really study with them some more. They usually only accept physical therapists, but I'm sneaking in anyway.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Schnick. Can
Sneaky.
we talk about your art a little bit?
Yeah.
Talk
about art.
You in addition to like a bunch of healing modalities, I'd call them art modalities, like burlesque, contortion, belly dance, samba, witchcraft. Do you have, when you think about all the things that you've made, do you have a favorite baby?
I don't have a one single favorite baby, but I have some standouts. I had an act that I used to do here in LA as part of this cabaret I was in, where I birthed myself from a suitcase. And I made a video version of that out in Joshua Tree during the pandemic. Seth, my husband, shot it. It was just the two of us out in the desert, and it's set to a song by a group called Dirty Three, whose music I'm obsessed with. It's oh my God, Warren Ellis, who plays with Nick Cave. It's his group. Anyway, if you want some amazing instrumental music, that's another little wreck from my brain. But that piece is one of my favorite things that I made. And I haven't really released it to the world. It's full nude. So, there's just not many platforms to release that to, but I really love it. So that's one thing. I have to say my leg braces act is another. And I know that there are people who don't love that act. But despite that, it feels, the summary is that in the act, I'm wearing leg braces and crutches and ballet fetish shoes. And it's in some ways a fetish act, but it's a lot more than that for me. And it is an act that comes out of my experience of being disabled for much of my 20s with the health conditions that I had. And I was, really fully disabled, unable to work, unable to move and live in the world normally. But it's an invisible disability. And so that act was really about taking the way I felt on the inside and putting it on the outside, and what it felt like to be that way and to need people to want me in order to be taken care of, because I couldn't take care of myself.
Boom.
Yeah. Right. And to try to, it's a little bit like of a wounded bird kind of thing. And it's, I can understand why people feel uncomfortable watching it. It's an uncomfortable subject matter. However, it is very much my life. And a lot of people felt that I didn't, because I don't need crutches and leg braces, that they aren't tools that I have the right to use. And I understand that, I really do. But at the same time, I feel that my experience with disability, it just all the different things that I've created in my life, it is the one that is most personal and applicable to my lived experience. Mm-hmm. And so I feel really strongly about it. It's so much of who I am and what I lived through.
I'm so glad that you made that. And didn't you perform that at the box?
I did. That was one of the most fun places I got to perform it because, you don't have to censor yourself at the box. Quite the opposite.
Like more things.
More things. Let's make it even weirder. That was really fun. And I actually performed it recently here in LA. So it's one of my most requested acts as well. Yeah, but I mean, recently, by recently, I mean in the last 5 to 10 years, almost everything I make is kind of like dark performance art rather than burlesque. I kind of am not really that interested in being pretty anymore. I did a lot of it.
You did it already.
I'm fucking 50. I don't have to be pretty anymore. Fuck it.
Let's be feral.
Yeah.
I'll never forget a text that you sent to me. This is when we were getting to know each other, and we're like, oh, I like you. And you sent me a text that said, let's get ugly beautiful.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Full bog witch.
Oh, that reminds me, when you wasn't it Lupercalia that you performed when you got awarded that thing? I'm not saying it correctly, but it was real blood on your face because you busted your lip on stage or your forehead.
No, that was I did not get awarded anything other than some hearty disapproval. That was for the New York Burlesque Festival, and I had just won the second. So the award part is I had won something in Vegas. I won the Princess of Burlesque for the Burlesque Hall of Fame that year, and so they wanted me to come and do New York Burlesque Festival. And I was like, okay, I want to do my leg braces act. And they were like, no, we don't want that one. And I was like, well, that's one I'm bringing. And they were already kind of pissed at me. And then I get there, and someone who was on prior to me was lubed up. And the stage was slippery. And at some point in that act, I do like a pratfall, like where it looks like I'm just falling, but I catch myself in my arms, and I was pretty strong then. I could do it. And I catch myself and my arms just completely slide out from under me. My hands just go bleep, like a cartoon. And I bonk my forehead off the stage. And I was like, ooh, hope nobody noticed that. And then I keep doing my act, and I'm rolling around and doing my thing. And I'm like, why am I all wet? And I look down, and I'm just covered in blood, just covered in blood. I'm squirting blood out of my right eyebrow. I think it was right or left. Now I can't remember. I look at it, and like the whole place, everyone is just looking at me with like unadulterated horror. There's blood all over the stage, all over me. I get off stage, and it's like I look in the mirror, and you can just see it going squirt, 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 squirt out my face. The poor producer, like I feel for her. She was so mad at me. Like then they have to stop the show to sanitize the stage, and I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital. I think I like glued it shut, went out. I had to go to the red carpet thing the next day, and I had this enormous purple shiner, just massive. Like my eye looked like an orchid. So I just threw some glitter on it, and that was my look. I wasn't popular that year. I was not popular. No.
No performer wants to ask themselves mid-stage set, why am I wet?
Yeah. Wait, why am I wet?
I'm wet. That might be the title of this episode.
It's funny because the people in the back of the club were like, that was amazing. Where did you get the blood from?
I made it myself.
Inside my face. Yeah. I grew it just for you. Oh yeah. I've really managed to make myself unpopular upon occasion, but unfortunately they had me back since, and I love them now and we're fine. It was a long time ago.
You have always remained staunchly true though to your visions. You taught me that.
I know.
That's how I learned it.
I know.
Thank you.
I honestly, like, sometimes really wish I were just a little bit more flexible. I mean, hilarious. I am physically flexible and creatively, like, just can't fucking do anything that I don't believe in. And when I believe in something, I can't not do it. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, quite honestly.
Yeah. You don't really have a lot of choice in the matter. Because we don't author our own desire. But when it's there, you're like, well, guess I'm doing this.
But plenty of people are like, yeah, I don't really want to do this, but you know what? I'm going to do it because I know that it's going to be like good for me or the right thing, or it's going to help me get where I want to go. And I'm honestly like, I wish I had a little more of that. I wish I was a little bit more utilitarian. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Social media.
Mm-hmm.
If any of you dear people listening to this look at my social media, you will find very little on there. And it's not that I don't have shit to say. I have so much to say. I have so much knowledge in my head that I desperately want to share with people. I just hate social media. I hate creating for it. I hate looking at it. It makes me depressed. I don't enjoy making stuff for it. And I keep trying to make myself do it. And I just haven't found a way to do it that feels right to me. I hate the fucking platform. I hate the people who control the platform. I hate the algorithms. I hate it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's an example of a way that I've shot myself in the foot.
And yet, your Instagram seems to be pretty healthy in terms of audience.
Oh, it's not.
No.
Not really. No. I mean, I have some followers, but I have almost no engagement because I don't post enough. And I don't play the algorithm game. I don't even know what the algorithm is. I know it exists. I don't know what the game is.
I don't think anyone really knows what it is and that it's a fool's errand to chase it. And my Instagram mentor, the great Maestro, is the one that taught me that. She's like, don't even try to figure it out. They're fucking with you. They're going to keep fucking with you.
They are fuckers. Yeah.
So just post what you want to post and then move on with your life. So that's what
and I mean, you are really one of my prime examples of people that I think has made Instagram work for you, and you found a really like authentic, very you voice that's fun to watch and entertaining and informative, and it feels very you. And I'm like, can I please figure out a way to do that? And I confess, have not.
Well, you're doing other things.
Yeah, that's also true.
So, speaking of, what, like, artistically,
yes.
What has got you fired up right now? Is there a seed?
Well, I haven't really been on the stage very much for a while, really since the pandemic. And part of that is just what's going on in LA. Like, there really isn't a lot happening here that speaks to me right now. There's a lot of stuff that's good. It just doesn't speak to me personally as like something I want to be part of. A lot of the shows that I was a regular in are gone, alas. Venues are closing, shows are closing. People just can't keep it going. It's really rough landscape here. And so performance-wise, I'm not really sure what the future holds. Like I have this inspiration to produce some stuff and maybe direct some stuff, but it's so hard to do that here right now. So I don't know. That performance wise, the only thing I'm really doing is this fun new bar that just opened up downtown called Uncle Ollie's, and my girl Vanessa is producing a monthly event there, and it's really just like wiggling on a bar top, but we make it extremely weird. So weird wiggling is my current performance outlet. But I have been getting back into visual art, which was my first love back in when I was a kid. And one of the things I've been doing on tour to keep from just doom scrolling during my downtime is I've been drawing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I brought a sketch pad and pencils. Yeah. And I've been doing portraits of everybody in our little group. And the rules for the portraits are that I'm doing them from photos, which is a little easier because the person doesn't have to sit there. But the rule is that it has to be a very unflattering photo and someone else has to nominate it for you. So I have a lot of really unflattering drawings of my tour family.
Oh my God.
And it's great because everyone loves the drawing of you except you.
That is so
I'm
on
talking about
brand.
making a calendar. Yeah, right? Isn't it so on brand? I mean, I confess it was not just my idea. It was kind of it started with me. Just like I took a photo of our tour manager. It was an amazing photo. She looks really, really grumpy. And I was like, oh my God, I want to draw this. So I drew it. And everyone was really excited about her drawing except for her. And so people started nominating other photos. And that's been really, really fun for me. I've been enjoying it so much.
Is it pencil or charcoal or
pencil?
Pencil.
Yeah. Easiest to travel with.
Yeah.
At home, I've been doing some painting.
Water? Oil? Acrylic?
Acrylic. But my first love was oil. And at some point, I'd love to get back to that. I have a very dear friend who is an incredible painter, Natalia Fabia, another little rec, if someone wants to look at beautiful paintings. And she has a studio. So sometimes a few of us just go over there and sit and have a painting day, girls and painting and coffee. It's great.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
How's the writing? Kristina's a great writer. You don't know this yet, but you will someday.
Yeah. My plan was to write on the road, and I just can't. I have found that for me to write, I really need stretches of uninterrupted time, which don't exist on tour. And they're honestly a little hard to come by at home between like tiny house, husband, 3 dogs, like, and business and clients and everything. But I have a chunk of this book written, and I'm trying to get my blog going again. I really let everything drop during tour. I was just like, I needed to give myself grace and understand that just staying okay and healthy on the road was going to take everything I had.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't have anything left.
No, that was absolutely the right call. There was the only call,
yeah.
really.
But it's only 2 more months. I only have 2 more months. And I'm simultaneously like really sad about that because, oh my God, I'm going to miss being part of this group. But also looking forward to the plethora of other things that I want to create, writing being one of them. Yeah. I have this book that I'm trying to write about flexibility. And I really want to write it. I want to get it out of my head and into the world because I thought about it so damn much.
Yeah. Do you have the title yet, or are you keeping it under your hat?
I think I'm going to call it the same as my flexibility workshop, Demystifying Flexibility, because I kind of feel like, flexibility is like the dark art of fitness. It's changing now. Like I think Instagram likes to feed me lots of like ads for mobility and flexibility programs. And it seems like there's a lot more discussion about the importance of flexibility and mobility, which is so great. I applaud everyone who's doing it well out there. But I still feel like, whenever I'm at the gym, which is pretty frequently, I go into the stretchy room to do my weird exercises, and I see a lot of people doing stuff where I'm like, that's not necessarily wrong. It's just, you could be getting so much more out of this time. Like, I feel like a lot of people are still stretching the way that they learned in like 6th grade gym class, and people don't really understand what creates flexibility and mobility, what blocks it, what's actually going on in your body when you're trying to become more flexible, and also like how to do it in a way that supports and nurtures your body rather than, deteriorating it and undermining your physical and neurological structures. So that's what I want to write about. And I want to make it like short enough and fun enough and interesting enough and filled with weird anecdotes and stuff so that it doesn't feel like a chore to read it. Make it accessible.
Yes, please. Lots of stories, please. And thank you.
And maybe some illustrations.
Can we see some of the drawings from tour? The unflattering portraits? That doesn't, I guess it's not really, on target there.
Those are not mine to share.
Okay. You're right.
Perhaps someone will share them.
Hopefully, when I see you in January, there will be plenty of unflattering photos to choose from.
I mean, I could start doing unflattering photos of our fellow retreaters. That could be so fun. That could be a little evening activity.
You hear that, y'all? Come to Mexico and be immortalized in the least flattering light.
If you have something where like you just woke up or your tongue is sticking out or you're making a really stupid face or you're in the middle of eating, those are my favorites.
But it's actually pretty on brand because you can't do anything well until you're at peace with doing it badly and looking like a fucking idiot. And the more peace you have around being an idiot, the more things you can make.
Amen, sister. Oh, wow. Do I love that? Yeah, absolutely. I have come to not just enjoy, but relish, like cherish, adore, love sucking at stuff. So another thing I'm doing is taking singing lessons. I am not good at singing. It is the scariest fucking thing. And I don't like the way that I sound. And I get into a full flop sweat every single time. And boy, do I love it. It's so exciting.
How often are you going? Is this like a once a month situation when you're home?
Once
yeah.
a week when I'm home.
Okay.
I have a trade with a guy who's really fantastic. And so, yeah, once a week we get together and I make him really uncomfortable by making him do physical stuff. And he makes me really uncomfortable by singing. And we're both very witchy in our approach. And so it works really well. We're learning a lot from each other. It's been great.
That's a match made in heaven, honestly.
Yeah. And then on the road, sometimes they make me sing with them. So that's, terrifying.
Wow.
People were really good at it. Yeah. Yeah. It's been great.
You've always
really,
been
really
good
great
at doing scary things.
It's my favorite. I do think that as I get older, I'm a lot better at not doing something simply because it's scary. Mm-hmm. And thereby doing something extremely I'm trying to not be self-destructive about it. Mm-hmm. But to actually be generative and to think of it as being brave, really. I realize that one of the things that I value most in myself as a trait is bravery, that I do feel like I have been very brave in my life. I've taken a lot of big risks. And at this point, I feel very comfortable taking risks. I know how to take a risk and I know how to have things go sideways or get fucked up. And it doesn't really bother me that much. I know how to try things and make an ass out of myself. And I'm so grateful for that. So, so grateful. I think it's the thing that saved me.
It was wonderful for me too, because I was very young when we met. I was 25. And you were the only example that I had of someone who was not afraid to do what she wanted and look like an idiot in the process. You didn't usually look like it to me. You were, heavenly. But it was important. Uh-huh. It was an important thing for a baby me. And there's not even that many years between us. You just had so much experience that I didn't have yet.
I lived real hard starting young. And I had to figure that shit out.
Lived hard, didn't die. What next?
That's it. Now what? Fuckers. God damn it. Still alive. That's actually the other thing that I'm really excited. I mean, I have too many things that I'm excited about, really. I need 80 lifetimes now that I've managed to survive this long. That I go to a lot of shows. I love going to see live music, and I go to a lot of shows with a lot of people my age. Went to see 9 Inch Nails last week. I went to see Conan the week before. Really great doom metal, and it's a lot of people my age. And man, I will tell you, looking out at that crowd, we are not doing great. My people, my Gen X people. We are having difficulty with things like stairs. We are having difficulty. We want to pump our fists and throw up our devil horns, and yet we don't have overhead extension of the shoulder. Yeah, I see a lot of it. We look a tad decrepit. And I was thinking about the fact that when I was growing up, the term self-care did not exist. Mm-hmm. It was tough titties, bitch. Get out there and do your shit. Stop complaining. Don't whine. Work hard. And I'd never had any concept of I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of my body. I have to do nice things for myself so that I'm going to be okay. It was work hard, play hard, drink hard, go hard. And anything else was wimpy, and I think as a result, a lot of us have gotten to this age and have not learned how to do things that are good for us. I mean, obviously there are exceptions, but if I'm going to make a generalization about Gen X, it's that we go really hard. Mm-hmm. And another generalization about Gen X is that we're still we don't know what we're going to do when we get really old. Like, a lot of us don't have savings. Who knows if like Medicare and Social Security is going to still be there? I'm not super optimistic. If we have kids, it's unlikely that our kids are going to be doing great and able to take care of ourselves. Like, what are we going to do? So I've been thinking a lot about a program for people my age that's, you know, like, fuck like getting a 6-pack. Who has time to care about a 6-pack, really? Let's talk about what does it take to be able to move easily, to not be in horrible pain, to be able to move your arms and legs, to take care of your feet, to be able to breathe so you don't get sleep apnea, like basic ass fitness shit like that nobody teaches you in the world ever. Like, when did anyone ever? No one taught me any of that stuff. And a lot of it is stuff you can just kind of integrate into your life. That it's not like, oh, I need to take, you know, an hour and a half every day to go to the gym and do this. And like, you don't even necessarily have to. There's stuff you can do at home that will make a big difference. So yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot because, you know, I love my Gen Xers. I love us so much. I think that we're these like really tough, like independent, go hard or go home people. And yet, like, we also really need to get better at taking care of ourselves as we move into this phase of our lives of being a little less young. Lived hard, didn't die. Now what?
Maybe it can be presented in such a way that you can see how badass it is to do these little things that could add up.
I think it is badass. It's super badass. And, you know, we're those people at that age that we have a lot of people depending on us. We've, you know, maybe got aging parents, maybe we've got kids, maybe we've got community around us. Like, a lot of us are people who've like been entrepreneurs or been, you know, very independent in our lives and have built things around us. Like, the world needs us. The world really needs. I also really think the world really needs people right now who remember before the internet. To kind of foster that culture and keep that culture alive. And like, you know, so much of when I go out now, it's like older people are going out, and I know that young people are going out too, but like, I really want to see like that mix in the world. Like, we need to stay out there and stay active and like share like what we know and remember, and like be there for younger people through like how tough the world is now. So yeah, anyway. I've been thinking about that a lot.
No. Yeah, I can see that. Thank you, because that was very fucking eloquent. To that end, I'm looking at the time, and I know our time is about up. So, as a reminder, this is not coming out until October the 1st. Happy October, by the way, everybody. Coming out on
greatest month of the year.
I so agree. And don't know if there'll be spaces left, but I'm confident there will be spaces left in our retreat where Kristina is bringing her body wizardry, and I'm bringing whatever it is that I do, creative excavation, functional woo.
Wizardry.
I'll just call it that too. Yes, we might as well. As of right now, there are, what's 18 minus 9? I'm not kidding. That's
9.
That's where, thank you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very good. As of right now, which is September 23rd, there are 9 places left for the retreat in Mexico.
Snag it while it's hot.
Snag
Come
it.
get your unflattering portrait. That's you know, that's the real selling point. I think that we need to make that more explicit in our promotional material.
And also the opportunity to, you know, put something weird and half baked on a stage and be able to ask yourself, hey, why am I wet?
Hey, how'd I get wet? Is it a good reason or is it a bad reason?
There could be both.
It could be both.
You need more info. So links to all these things are in the show notes. I'll get, you know, correct spellings of names and things from Kristina, and I'll put all the goodies in the show notes. So that's where you can find them. I just want to say thank you so much for I love you, Ray Ray. I love you too so much.
Almost 20 years.
Oh my gosh.
We've been friends through so much, so many adventures all over the world.
And so many changes in the world, and us calling each other being like, oh fuck. Now what?
There's been quite a bit of that too. Now what? What do we do now?
That's going to be...
And yet...
yeah. What'd you say?
We're still doing it.
Yeah.
I said, and yet we're still doing it.
No intention of stopping. I have every
Hell no.
expectation of continuing on. And I can't wait to see you in January, my darling.
Yay. Love you, Ray Ray.
Love you too. Talk soon. Hope you enjoyed my little sound effect there. I've been wanting a cicada sound effect for a while, and all of them sound super fake. So I made one by recording my yard as a sort of a, like, you know, a segue between the end of the interview and me being like, hey, thanks for coming. Anyway, let's get to that part. Thank you for listening. Thank you for spending this hour with me and with Kristina. There's show notes full of links for anything that you might want to reference. I'm just here to say thank you, and that if you have requests for guests or subjects for future podcasts, you can reach me always on Instagram at Rachel Strickland Creative or on Patreon at Rachel Strickland Creative. This podcast is powered by Patreon. It would not exist without those who stand with me, who trust me. Thank you so much for sticking around, for believing me when I am in a place of fecundity and in a place of fallow fields. They are both necessary, and so are you. Thank you for making this possible. Until next time, friends, let's get ugly beautiful, and don't go back to sleep.